Hello everybody and welcome to another video. We're going to be taking this from Shanghai Pudong over to Munich. The flight is about 14 hours or so. Let me just double check. It is 13 hours 21. That's flight time, so runway to runway. And yeah, I'm pretty excited to get this airplane going and to showcase it on the channel. I mean, it's not really a showcase. I mean, you guys probably all own it. You guys already flew it many times. I've flown it a couple times already as well. I just never made a video on it. So first things first, master switches are off, most likely normal. The weather radar is off, the predictive wind shear system is off. Okay, so weather radar is off, predictive wind shear system off, gears down, wipers are off, batteries at least 25.5 for all three, which is indeed checked. Okay. I'm gonna turn on external power A, and then B. Something that I don't like is their cold and dark state has strobe lights on auto and nav lights on. Not really something that's usual, at least not in the airline that I always reference. So I would expect that to be off. They did add the difference between EIS1 and EIS2 with the diagonal lines. However, they've done a big mistake on them. And let's see. Yep, this is incorrect. Alright, let's do the APU fire test. That checks out. Nav lights are already on. We'll go and prepare the EFB. So we're going to go to ground equipment. We're going to connect the air conditioning unit. Alright, so let's go ahead and go to my flight. Import from SimBrief. Wonderful, that's checked. Payload and fueling. Now it's been a little while since I've flown this airplane, so I don't know exactly how it works. We're going to do instant load fuel. And then we're going to do GSX loading via payload. Okay, don't tell me it's already loaded that. No, it hasn't. Okay. Instant load fuel. There we go. Fuel is loaded. Passengers I don't think are loaded just yet. Live 0. Okay, so I think we can then do GSX loading through payload. We'll do that once we are ready for that to happen. Then I'm going to do that. Let's go to Atsu. Let's do a weather request as well. And then we're going to go to data. Aircraft status. We're going to check a few things here. This all looks good. I'm going to go and insert that. Init, do an init request. And that is checked. That's Shanghai Pudong to Munich. Lufthansa 222 Alpha is checked. That is good. This is the prelim. We're going to go and accept that. And we're going to check out the weather information. So aircraft acceptance, recall. Not seeing a normal indication. This checked. This is normal for now. Although auto throttle should not be here because the FADECs are not powered. This should not actually show up. Alright. Aircraft acceptance, no bad equipment, everything is checked. The aircraft is in good condition, so aircraft acceptance complete. Preliminary performance determination, we'll set our altimeters 1030, which is also checked here. So let's go to takeoff performance. We're going to sync weather. And we're planning with runway 34 left. Okay. So 236. That's incorrect. Expecting 266.5. We're gonna go and put in 276. We're gonna put in our max takeoff weight 400. Let's see what happens. Air conditioning off, anti-ice off, force go no. Calculate. Let's see what it gives us. Oh, I did not mean to do that. There we go. Calculate. There we go. We're gonna go with flaps 2. We're gonna force 2. And there we go. So 143, 158, 171 toga. Max takeoff weight 282.8, flaps 2. Alright, so let's go and put in our actual takeoff weight. What we're expecting is 266. I'm gonna go with 600. Calculate. And there we have it. Flex 40, 146, 157, 168. 22.8 is max. Let's check flaps 2. And that's good to go. We're gonna do the same for our landing performance. We're gonna check some things in here. Sync sim brief. Sync. Config full landing weight. We're expecting 172.4 is checked. Compute. And we have a good stop margin, which is checked. That's with medium auto brake. We had low. That's also checked. Cool. So oxygen pressure is sufficient. Hydraulic quantities are checked. Engine oil quantities are checked. They are sufficient as well for the flight. And all the equipment is there. All the emergency equipment. Let's go and open the door. And we would be about ready for boarding. We're going to request boarding in about 5 minutes. We're on time. We're on schedule. So we're going to request it in 5 minutes, and in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and do our overhead scan and start with that. That's all checked. Fueling is completed. One thing I need to check is if they've updated. No, this is still a bug. Okay. Alright, let's go engine fire tests. This is also incorrect. You can see that it is displaying engine 2 first and engine 4. It looks like the ECAM does not have proper ordering, which it should. Which is a shame. Not sure why Cat 3 is there. I wouldn't expect that either. Okay. This is all checked. This is all good to go. There's many different variations to this test. This is not the way I know it, but it is possible that this version exists. So yeah. But the CVR test is complete. And we're good to go on that. Let's continue here with the ECAM. With the main instrument panel. Okay. Date is checked. UTC is checked. ER and GPS mode. All good here as well. Checked. Need to set these to idle. Okay, that's all checked. Unfortunately, this is not working. Real shame that they're making the excuse of performance. It's a lame excuse. I always find that to be a lame excuse. But yeah, I mean, we have a third MCDU for a reason. I mean, that's to make your life easier, so you can use these two for the actual FMGC, and then you can use this one for the ATSU or whatever. There's a reason for it. Plus, if you want to simulate failures, if you have an MCDU1 failure, for example, then the FM1 should come down to the MCDU3, or same thing with FM2, so on and so forth. So it actually has some purpose, instead of just looking pretty, I guess, which is a shame they haven't implemented it. This all checks out. Alright, and with that, we are ready to request boarding. So I'm going to go ahead and request payload. And we'll continue with the FMGC. Climb, Napa Fighters 1 and 2. Alright, and that is checked. So we're going to wait for boarding to complete and then we shall continue. Alright, so boarding is completed. We have our final figures, 153.9er. Just checked with the 0 fuel weight CG of 27. We have a takeoff weight of 266.5, which is checked. We're going to go to takeoff performance. Check the fuel, make sure it's balanced. Looks to be. And we'll start the APU and set the fuel pumps on. There's also an incorrect logic. Setting the standby pumps here should not cause the fault light to illuminate because we already have the main tank on, main pump on. The standby pump fault light should only illuminate momentarily when the standby pump is actually commanded in on because the main pump isn't off. Isn't running. So for example, if these were both on and I were to switch off the main pump, then the standby pump would switch over, meaning you would momentarily see the fault light illuminate as the standby pump transitions from off to on. So the fault light here is also incorrect. No real logic behind it, just all scripted as it is. The usual case with iniBuilds. A lot of scripting, not really much logic behind it. At least that's the feeling I get with iniBuild products, airplanes to be specific. So gear pins and covers, remove fuel quantity, 113.2 tons, and balanced. Seatbelts on. Adheres. Nav. ref 1030 set. Once, twice, 3 times. Checked within 35 feet. And that is checked as well. Go and request pushback. Beacon on, parking brake set. Acupressure in the green. Slides are armed. We're gonna wait for the nose wheel steering disengage to appear. Again, status, I would not expect Cat 3. I would expect it to be blank now with everything aligned and everything ready to go. The 4-star checklist, parking brake is set. Takeoff speeds and thrust are set. Windows closed, beacon on. The 4-star check is complete.
Release parking brakes. Commencing push. Due to icing conditions, please stand by for engine start until push completed and brakes set.
Not really in icing conditions. So we'll start the engines as per normal.
You can disconnect.
Unlocking gear.
After start checklist, anti-ice not required, econ status is checked. Pitch trim. 5.5 units set, rudder trim neutral. Lineup checklist. Takeoff runway confirmed, runway 34 left. Degas TARA packs 1 and 2 off. Cabin has been advised. Cabin crew seats for departure. Alright, are you ready? Lights, camera, and action. FX 40 SRS runway, auto thrust, blue. Thrust is set. 700 knots.
V1.
And rotate. Pause, climb, gears coming up. Nav. Thrust, climb, climb, auto thrust. At 1. At 2. Auto flat retraction. And flaps 0. We'll be accelerating to green dot, which is correct. So welcome back. We are now 12 hours and 40 minutes later, and we're now ready to plan for our descent into Munich. So we're going to go and get some weather information. And do so by going to the Atsu. And we're going to do a meta request. Perfect. Beacon status is checked, no status messages. Everything normal. This should. Alright, perfect. And then we'll go to landing. We'll sync. We'll reverse. With medium auto brake. And 178.4. 153.9 plus 24.5. That's 177. 178.4. Perfect. Compute. Alright, nice. Let's continue with the FMVC preparations. Okay, let's see if there is discontinuities. I would not necessarily expect. Let's go via. Okay, why does that not work? Okay, no vias, I guess. So let's check the charts. There we go. Button deck. Insert. That should. There we go. That's more like it. The flight plan is checked. Right now is check progress. Put in 08 right. Not sure why the sounds go away when you're doing this view. Additional altitude 5,000. And our minimums is 1686. Copy that. The elevation is checked, auto, 154 feet set. Or brake medium. And then we would do the approach briefing. And yeah, we'll see you on the approach.
$500. 400. 300. 400. 100 above. 200. Minimum. 100. 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5.
Alright, parking checklist. Parking brake or chocks. Set, engines off, wing lights off, fuel pumps off. And blue electric pump is off. Parking check is complete. Alright, so that is the end of the flight. I hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah, this plane flies a bit weird, but that's just MFFS, honestly. It's not the airplane. Like, it's just the typical MSFS things. The last 1,000 feet when you're descending to reach the touchdown zone is just really, really strange in this sim. It turns me off every time. But otherwise, I think it flies very nicely. You definitely need to tweak the ChasePlane settings because that wobble is just way too extreme. So anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you all in the next one. Until then, have yourselves a wonderful rest of the day, and peace!